Good afternoon, everyone from Taipei. Today is my third day here, and unfortunately it just started to rain. On my first and second day, I got all the touristy stuff I wanted to see out of the way off camera. Taipei 101, hiked up Elephant Mountain. It's all been great so far, but today I want to see if I can get a more authentic feel for what this city is. That being said, I am a tourist and I will still be going to a few touristy places. A little downpour never hurt anyone, although it is a little annoying, I will say. Good thing is, rain or shine, most sidewalks here are covered, so it doesn't affect me too bad. Our first stop today is going to be Chiang Kai-shek Memorial, and I'm going to use this opportunity to show off the amazing metro system here and how easy it is to use. So if you're a tourist, you're able to buy the travel pass, and you have different options for unlimited metro while you're here. It does only go up to 72 hours, so if you're here for a while, you have to renew it a few times, which can be a little annoying. But once you get this little red plastic token, you just tap it and you're through. Metro is very clean and easy to use. It's easy to navigate because everything's in Chinese and English, and the trains are very reliable, almost always on time. You can see we're here. And the cool thing about a lot of tourist attractions here in Taipei is that they have metro stations right outside of them. So it takes you directly to them. There's very chill vibes on the metro. Everyone's deathly quiet. Almost reminds me of Japan in that regard. Either of the two major airports here in Taipei also have metro stations right outside. So it's really easy to get just about anywhere in the city for very cheap directly from the airport, which is nice. While we were in there, the rain has picked up a good bit, so I guess we'll wait it out with these guys. There she is in her full glory. Unfortunately, it is still pouring, so I'm under this awning right now. You can even see Taipei 101 lurking there in the background. There's finally a little bit of sun outside, and I'm on my way to see the monument. This right here is called Liberty Square, and it's a site where a lot of protests and rallies and other things are held to celebrate democracy in Taiwan. A little history lesson for those of you who don't know: Chiang Kai-shek was the leader of the Republic of China government, which fled to Taiwan in 1949 following the Chinese Civil War. And so this monument was built in remembrance of him, and as you can see leading up, there are 89 steps which symbolize the 89 years of life he had. There are a lot of controversies surrounding Chiang Kai-shek. Although he advocated democracy, a lot of people think that he was too much of an authoritarian ruler and that martial law was enacted while he was the leader. Nonetheless, the monument is really beautiful, and this was actually built not too long ago in 1980, despite it looking much older. Going up the stairs, you can see the Taiwanese sun symbol, same one that's on the flag, which is actually, it actually comes from the Republic of China. Here you can see the man himself, Chiang Kai-shek, and the large Chinese characters behind him read ethics, democracy, and science. And on the three lower floors, you have exhibits of Taiwanese history. I'm not going to show too much of it on camera because it's basically just a museum, but if you're ever here, I recommend checking it out. So I guess this building also doubles as a middle school. I accidentally just wandered into a classroom and drew a bunch of attention. It was a little awkward. Anyways, I'm gonna pull myself away from here or else I'll spend all day looking at all the exhibits, but I very much enjoyed this museum. It was very culturally enlightening, and you know what that means. Now we can drink. Jokes. But if you are ever in Taipei, I do highly recommend visiting the memorial. It's free, it's easy to get to, and it's very enriched with Taiwanese history and culture and philosophy. It's a very cloudy day following the rain. It's actually only 4:30 right now, but it's already starting to look pretty dark out. With street laws here, you do normally have to wait at the pedestrian crossings. Actually, earlier today, I saw a woman get in trouble with the police for it, and I don't know if she was bribing them or just paying a fine in cash on the spot, but she looked pretty frustrated, so definitely be careful of that. We're now on our way to Yongla Market. I got a recommendation from a local friend to stop by there because it's where a lot of locals shop for fabrics, produce, anything you can think of. Got all sorts of clothes, patches, street foods, produce, everything of that sort. And this has got to be the 6th 7-Eleven I've passed in the last kilometer I've been walking. I mean, as you can see, you've got all the jewelry, different fabrics. This guy's roasting squid, some restaurants as well. It's very lively. This is one of the busiest areas I've came across all day, and I don't see a ton of tourists, at least not Western tourists here. So I guess we found the spot. This city is absolutely littered with 7-Elevens and Family Marts, but just to show you how extreme it is, right here you have a Family Mart, and right here, just across the street, your eyes are not playing with you. That is another Family Mart. All these temples are free to go inside and very beautiful. When I initially booked my flight to Taiwan, this is more or less what I imagined. These closed off streets, the big signs everywhere, which I assume are gonna start lighting up here after dark. The shops, the stalls, feels very authentic. And plus, I don't see many other blonde dudes around, so looks like I found the place to be. Well, I know I wasn't here for too long, but I actually am gonna keep pushing on forward towards the center of the city. I did just wanna stop by here real quick and A, see it for myself, but B, kind of show off a more authentic part of Taipei that's less touristy. Quick pit stop. I'm passing by the mall, so I might as well check it out while I'm here. A mall's a mall, no matter where you are in the world, so I'm not gonna glaze too hard. But one of my favorite parts about traveling is just popping in the random buildings you see along your way and just picking out the little things, little differences, and all the things you can find that you don't necessarily have back home. Just hopped off the metro. It was insanely crowded this time around, but wait till you see what awaits us at the top of this escalator. If I would have been smart and gotten off at the other side, it takes you right to the foot of Taipei 101 World Trade Center. However, I'm not smart and I'm still figuring things out, but look at her in her full glory. Isn't she beautiful? I originally was not gonna come here today because I've already been here, but I thought about it more and realized it's a rite of passage to see this, and you need to see it with me. So here we are. To give a quick rundown, it was built in 2004, and for a long time it was the tallest building in the world until the Burj Khalifa came around in 2010. And if you look at it, there's this big base on the bottom, and then above that there's 8 different sections, which is a lucky number in Chinese culture, the number 8. And it's made to resemble a bamboo stalk. I'm gonna go inside the shopping center attached to it, but any minute now, by the time I get out here, the lights should be on. Once again, no matter where you go in the world, a mall is gonna be more or less the same. This one, however, is definitely on the higher end, and you can tell by all the luxury designer stores. That being said, there are a few things I do want to show off about this mall. First off, it's 6 stories tall, and from my observation, the higher you go, the less in my price range the stores get. Just about every luxury brand you can think of, along with every luxury brand you can't think of. But down low, there are some more casual streetwear brands like Nike, North Face, all that. One of my favorite parts about this mall is if you come right over here and look up, you'll see that the ceiling perfectly aligns with the World Trade Center corner. And so you see right below that, on the 5th floor of the shopping mall, you actually have the corner of the tower, which is where the Burberry building is located. So in there is technically inside of the tower itself. And I would go in there, but I can't afford anything and I don't want to waste the employees' time. And there you can see mini Taipei 101, except this one only has 2 layers to it. Wait, those are clouds, so I guess this is just supposed to be the top of it. My bad. Up this escalator to the 6th floor is the observatory to get tickets to go to the top. However, I have a bit of a hot take. You should never go to the top of the most beautiful building in a city for the view, because that building's outside of the view. Instead, I recommend going to Elephant Mountain, especially at this time of day right around sunset, because not only do you have the majestic Taipei 101 in the scene, but you're also surrounded by nature and greenery right outside of the city. I recommend using public restrooms anytime you can, because they are a commodity here. And even in a lot of restaurants, there's no bathroom. Here's just another view in case you haven't seen enough. And you know what? I'll pop into the main building. It turns out you can't get very far if you're not a prestige diamond, platinum, emerald member, or whatever. And there you go, the lights just came on. With the combination of train, bus, and feet, you can get just about anywhere here. Uber is an option, however, I haven't personally needed it. I've had no trouble getting around with just the public transport, and it's fairly cheap. Super easy to use. As an American, no matter where in the world you go, you'll see restaurants from back home. But one that was not on my bingo card, at least here in Taiwan, is Texas Roadhouse. It has unfortunately began to rain again, but it's a bit of an aesthetic this time of night. Well, considering how many 7-Elevens there are here, I feel it'd only be appropriate to make a 7-Eleven run, or else the video would be incomplete. Knew there'd be one close by. I had to stop to try a tea egg, and these are widely considered to be a delicacy here. And they're just boiled eggs, but they're boiled in a sort of broth that's made with tea and soy and I believe spices. But I've seen a lot of people eating these, and they have them at just about every restaurant. All right, here we go. It's good, but it's a little less flavorful than I anticipated. It honestly just tastes like a regular hard-boiled egg. Not bad though, but it's nothing crazy. Maybe 7-Eleven just doesn't have good tea eggs. Maybe I need to try somewhere else. The lady didn't give me a receipt, which is weird because that's the first time that's happened here. Normally I wouldn't care at all, but I did want to show you there's something unique about the receipts here, and that's that they have a code on them which enters you into a lottery. And the reason for this is to encourage credit card payments so the government can track them easier and tax them. Most businesses and restaurants here do take card, but not all. You will need to hit an ATM and get some cash, especially for street food and more local spots. Also, if you're walking around with trash, you might be holding it for a long time because trash cans are very hard to find out in public. And I've found myself holding trash for hours at a time just because I had nowhere to put it. Anyways, that'll just about do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. I'm still very awkward on camera, but I'm figuring things out. And I'm coming off of a pretty rough sickness, which is why it took me till day 3 here to record this. And I hope next time to have more of an appetite so I can try more foods and be a little bit more lively. But thank you very much for watching. If you're new here, be sure to smash the buttons or whatever. Have a good night.